Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build video. It has been a month since my last video, and it's not because I haven't been building. I've been building plenty, but I've been like, I'm doing nothing with my life. What do I talk about? So I've just been blanking out on what to say. So I've just been, let me give you a quick rundown what I've been doing lately. I'm still jobless. This job market is absolutely disgusting. But I have been doing a lot of writing, which I'm really happy about, and I have been doing a lot of appreciations. And realistically, I have almost everything I want in life beyond the job. So I've been doing a lot of appreciations on what I do have rather than what I don't have. I've been enjoying my creative journey. I've been able to do a lot more scripts lately. I've been really like creatively aligned and stuff like that, and I feel very inspired. So I've been just kind of at peace with that, enjoying that, and then I've been doing a lot of builds, surprised me scarily. I've been doing a lot of builds with CC, which is not that great, but I have been doing a lot of builds, and those will be coming out, well, until I get a job, 3 times a week, because I'm back to my 3 times a week schedule because The Sims has been very quiet lately. So that sounds like there's going to be a new pack, and I need to make sure that everything I've built is out before a new pack comes out. So, yeah. So I promised you guys last, and I'm really happy you guys like that theater, that opera house. It's one of my favorite things ever, and I've just been thinking, especially with the rise of like gothic media, like a lot of the things I was writing was gothic media because I'm a big escapist girly. I think I spoke about it before. It's like a mixture of futurism, escapism, sci-fi, fantasy, gothic. I just feel like there is so much you can do with writing. Why constrict yourself into it? That, and I feel like when you experience a lot of like real life, some people like the feeling of familiarity, feeling like they're not alone. So they like realistic media, but then other people like escapist media. Like, for example, I'll say this house itself is quite escapist because it's a very rich house and it's set in the 2000s. So it's not really something we can ever truly experience. And I feel like some people just want to feel like they're in another place. And if you can do that in The Sims, if you can do that in films, go off, go on. So that's basically what I've been doing lately. A lot of the builds I've been doing have been quite rich builds. But I would wait, actually, that was a little bit of a lie because I do have another one that isn't like quite as rich for my Friday upload, which is but if you look at the British market and the British class system at the moment and the ever dwindling middle class, you could probably classify it as quite rich. We'll see. It is a three-bedroom street, so everyone's got like actually, but one, two of the houses. It's a street. It's another British street, so look out for that. And I think it's really cute. That should be coming on Friday. It's either that or the school. It's one of those two. Yeah, it depends. It's probably gonna be that one because I'm more excited for that one. But yeah. So I was like, I've been just really enjoying like different types of medium and exploring that, and I've been really kind of finding my voice again when it comes to filmmaking and writing because I don't know, I was kind of like in this slump of, well, I just need people to like it. I need people to fund it, and I still need people to fund my ideas, but it's more of, oh, but realistically, I'm not passionate about this. How can I even convince them to be passionate about it? Let me just write what I want. It's just the one thing that is more fun about writing pilot episodes and feature scripts is because in your head you have somewhat of an understanding that this won't get funded, so you can really just explore yourself as a writer, as a creative. But then when you have to do short film scripts, you need to like really put on your budgeting head, your budgeting hat on and be like, and your producer hat on and think, where would we film this? Who would we film this with? I need to make sure that this isn't a crazy big thing. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I've been enjoying myself. A lot of them are sci-fi, fantasy, gothic, and everything like that. And I feel like I'm 24 this September, but it feels like I'm 17 again, writing everything that comes into my mind, and I'm enjoying it. I'm having a lot of fun with it, and I'm having a lot of fun with the building. It feels like after taking a few, I want to say weeks, but it was only like a few days off. I really just kind of came back into it and I enjoyed it. This house, though, was supposed to come out 2 weeks ago. But what happened is that I had an event during the weekend, so I couldn't do it. And then after that, I kept sitting on it because I was like, it's a bit ugly, isn't it? And I know it's not ugly because I'm posting it. I always say this all the time. I always like really like trash my builds, and then I feel like you guys expect me to say, "No, girlie, it's okay. It looks nice." No, I know it looks nice because I wouldn't have posted it if it didn't. But I just have like this like weird feeling about it. I'm just like, it's not what I won't say it's not nice. It's just not exactly how I envisioned it to end up looking like. I really wanted to make something very gaudy. I wanted to make something very strategically aesthetic to a 2000s Tuscan house. And this is Tuscan, California rather than Italy, just because I wanted to do that whole, you know how like rich celebrities in the 2000s lived in houses like this and you just kind of were at all with it and you just thought about all these really nice kind of, I think, Beverly Hills houses. So I was like, I want to make that kind of girly pop Tuscan house, very warm brown tones. And as someone who absolutely loves anything within brown, I mean, my G shade is got sepia on it. I was like, this is gonna be the perfect combination of a lot of things I like. So I do like it, and it came out better than I was expecting. I think it just came out a lot more gaudy than I was expecting. And I think for the upload of it, I am gonna remove some objects because I feel like it's very packed at the moment. And I'm trying to find my peace with space, like just have a lot of empty spaces. So you know what? I think the next thing I might need to build is something that is like a very minimalist build, just so I can be at peace with space because I keep trying to fill everything up. And when I don't, it feels like it's a little bit empty. But when I do, it doesn't feel empty. It's a whole weird process. But I need to get really comfortable with space again within The Sims because I've just gone. I think it's also because I'm so used to doing such smaller builds that when I do like a slightly bigger build, I just feel like it's all empty, but it's not. That's how it's supposed to look like, especially when I look at like the actual photos of these things in the tours. They are like strategically empty in certain spaces. So I really just need to get more comfortable with that. But that's gonna be okay. I'm gonna enjoy that journey because I'm really loving building again and everything like that. When creating this, I had this really cool idea because one thing I've always loved about these types of houses was how they had those pools that kind of connected within each other. I always thought they were the cutest things ever. And I was thinking, is this something that I could have potentially had in the Sorry about that. I was getting a phone call. But anyway, I was saying that I had this idea for the pool because they always have really cool pools in these types of houses. And I was thinking maybe like we don't have jacuzzis that are rounded off. So I was thinking, okay, we don't have jacuzzis. What can I do with myself? And I originally thought maybe I could go onto the gallery and download a pool, but then I was like, these are far too big. I haven't left enough room for the backyard, for the garden area. And I was thinking, I do that a lot, don't I? So I was like, okay, what can I do? What can I do? What can I do? And I just thought I'll just like hide all the imperfections with rocks because I haven't used rocks in a second. These shelves, these bookshelves, this is what I was talking about. About I feel like I added too much in certain areas. I think those bookshelves I'm gonna remove. And I think even some rugs I'm gonna remove because I feel like it made it all too packed. I feel like I really love how the layout is and the space is at the moment. And then I just ended up just like overthinking it and adding just way too much. Like even the curtains a little bit. I think I might just even remove the curtains because I feel like I added a bit too much within the space by having the curtains, or maybe just the color of the curtains because everything's kind of dragging down a little bit and it feels quite um like compact and it feels very small, which it really shouldn't. It's quite a big build. So I'm gonna be thinking that I'm gonna take that on board when uploaded. Or I could upload two versions if you guys prefer. I could have a version where it isn't that packed and that the one that I will preferably like, and then there's going to be another version which is like true to this for the people who just kind of wanted a little bit more extra. But the problem is now I'm looking at it and I kind of like it, so it's very conflicting. It's a very conflicting feeling. But I think one thing that I will 100% change are these curtains. I used the Get Famous curtains because I just thought they looked very 2000. But I think what the problem is that within the 2000s, sorry, I popped the mic there, but I think the problem is within the 2000s specifically, like the Tuscan types of houses and everything like that within the 2000s, it's like a multitude of different styles. And what I ended up doing is trying to kind of oh my gosh, I ended up doing is trying to combine all of them into one house, and that I think that's why it looks quite a bit clashed because I'm looking at it now and it's like there's like multiple different types of Tuscan aesthetics going on at the moment. Like I should have picked one. So I'm looking at it out. I'm gonna definitely change those curtains, regardless of which version of this build I upload. Those curtains are going. It's too messy for this. But yeah, no, I'm onto the kitchen now, which is my favorite part of when I'm making any build, except for when I was making my most recent build. I did not know what to do the kitchen because I did an apartment. Like when I tell you I'm stacked with builds, I'm stacked with builds at the moment. I did an apartment in Saudade and Emirata, and it's it's a beautiful apartment, except for the kitchen. The kitchen is okay, but it's just not how I would have necessarily wanted it as. It's a beautiful kitchen, but it doesn't scream mid-century because it's a mid-century inspired apartment and it just doesn't scream it. So that I think except for that kitchen, every other kitchen I've absolutely adored doing. This kitchen is very nice, and I think it's really good before I all I'm talking about is criticizing this, but I kept thinking about this build like a nightmare. Like every single time I was building anything or thinking about what I'm gonna upload, I was just thinking of it in the back of my mind, like so many things that I just don't know what's going on inside of it. But my Sims, that pizza oven, they were obsessed with it. And what I really think tied this entire build together is the chandeliers. I used the ones from Get Famous, and honestly, Get Famous is, you're gonna hate me. You're gonna hate what I'm gonna say. But I actually think that little counter thing I do in the back is quite nice. Now I'm looking at it. You know what? It just shows you shouldn't be overcritical with yourself. Okay, that rug did kind of like ruin the vibes though. Um, so that rug might go. That might go as well. But I really just like how this entire thing comes together, especially with the little columns. The columns is nice, but do you see what I mean when I say everything's kind of just really combined together? It's not really as cohesive as it could have been. But that's fine. It's a vibe. It's my first ever like fully Tuscan house. I will make more, and the more that I make, the more that they will just end up being better and better and better than the ones before. And yeah, and I don't like the way I placed this TV. I feel like that TV should have been on the wall. They had flat screen TVs in the early 2000s, didn't they? I'm so sorry. I was just a bad back then. So I couldn't tell you what they had because I was thinking this is like 2003 to 2009. Like that's what I'm thinking specifically. There's this one content creator. I don't like talking about content creators a lot just because I haven't done even celebrities because I don't do like full on research with them. So I don't know what's going on in their lives. It could be really problematic people. So I try and to stay clear of content creators and characters. I will always speak about my characters. We're speaking of, I'm really excited with Superman. I'll talk about that in a second. But anyway, I've talked to you guys before about me and my love for baking, specifically my joy for baking. There is a content creator on YouTube called Joy of Baking that has the best simple chocolate cake recipe ever. I swear by it. It is such a beautiful, moist, fluffy, and really good storage type of cake. and I make it every single time I'm craving something to do with chocolate cake that isn't a microwave chocolate cake, because most of the time I just make something that is in the microwave. But this time around, sometimes when I just want a bigger cake, I just go for Joy of Bacon. Her kitchen is just like, it is this kitchen that I've created downstairs. It is peak Tuscan house. Like, you can tell it's like you've got a bit of money. Someone in that house is a lawyer. Someone in the house is a real estater. You just know that you guys have quite a bit of money. Not in terms of like, wealthy, but there are people with well-established jobs in there. So that's like the kind of idea that I had. I imagined that the couple in this house have kind of bought this house from the previous owners, so that's why the house is kind of decked out already for like Sims, but it's not really personalized per se because they don't have children yet. But I just imagine that they are like very prominent early to mid stages of the career, but they're very well paying careers. So I imagine one of the Sims to be a lawyer and the other Sim to be a real estate agent, and a real estate agent for like really like expensive real estate. Like, I'm talking about like not necessarily millionaires. No, I'll say it. I think it's millionaires. I think they would do like real estate for millionaires and then do a lot of law. What type of law? Corporate law. Corporate law. Yeah, I think corporate law would be something. I don't know why I'm forgetting how to say corporate. Well, I said it then. Anyway, I feel like one of them would do corporate law, and I just feel like that's gonna be like the entire vibe. And I feel like it's a really good vibe for the early 2000s, and I cannot wait until they have children because I really like, want to play with this family. I can't wait to have children because I have the entire vibe in my head already. Even though everyone in my game is sad in current temporary period, they have a very dated look with everything, and I can just imagine like the teenagers having that whole like high school experience with like cheerleading, cute phones, cute outfits, just everything I wanted when I was younger watching TV, and I'll just be like, you're living the life. I love that for you. That's the vibe of the family that hopefully will be living in this house. To be fair, for someone who said that this house is something that is being built off of, they've just bought it. I do personalize the second bedroom quite a bit, don't I? Ooh. Anyway, my favorite bedroom though is this bedroom that I'm doing now. I don't know why. I feel like I just did. I think it's the same reason why I was feeling so iffy about the entire house in general. I just love how this is less like crazy. Like, this is just kind of more simple, and this really feels like more simple, simpler. It just really feels like the vibe, and I really like the way it looks. And the things that I do use within this build is very similar to the things that I use in the theater slash opera house. So that's why you may look at it and be like, those doors are from Life and Death. Those wallpapers are from Get Famous. And it's just like, oh, you've used a lot of the same stuff, haven't you? It's like, yeah, I have. And that's why I was really like thinking to myself, I was going to upload it, but I didn't know when to upload it. But anyway, I was on my topic about Superman, which I'm really happy that I actually remembered. I am so excited. I've been going to the cinema a lot more recently this year and watching a lot more films because I got a treadmill. So every single day I go on the treadmill and I try and watch something going on. What I have realized though is that I have a friend that is near and dear to my heart, and we are both like really creative people. She loves doing like TV shows and stuff like that, and she wants to be a showrunner and stuff like that. Like, and I can see it for her. I can see the vision. She has this passion for long form medias in that form. However, I'm more of a film person. I like film. I like to keep things in the film realm, and I've been watching a lot of series as I've been on the treadmill just because that can keep me like anticipating for the next episode. But as I've been watching them, I've been like, yeah, I really do prefer film though. Because I don't know why. It's not even because of a lack of attention span. Like, I would generally watch a 10-hour film, which is basically a limited series, but I don't know why. It just feels like I like the format of a film. I like the way that showcases a story to me. So compared to a TV series, even though like one of my favorite TV series is of all time is Doctor Who. As you guys know, I love Doctor Who. I love The Society. I I really love like those kind of TV shows. But I've realized to myself as I've been watching more and more of them, I'm more hypercritical of TV than I am of film, which is really bad because there is this kind of like weird energy within the TV film industry where a lot of film people look down on TV. Now the thing is, TV is amazing. It is not something to look down upon. It is one of the greatest things that we have, and it's good for telling certain stories. It's just I feel like in certain areas I personally I can't. I'm just like, this would have been a really good film. But what would not have been a good film, which I have started watching, is called The OA. I've heard a lot of people say a lot of good stuff about it. So I've started watching it, and I can't give you guys a review or anything quite yet, just because it is quite early days at the moment. I'm on episode 2, but I just think that show is something that could never have been a film because it's just so intense. I think that's my issue. I think a lot of shows could have been films. And this is coming from me as someone who had to understand that themselves when it came to their scripts as well, because I remember for a script competition I was doing that I didn't even get to give it in because I ended up finishing it like 6 hours after the deadline, which is really horrible. But as I was doing a bunch of pilots for them for that particular competition, the pilot that I ended up going with, I was like, this seems like a TV show. But the original pilots that I was thinking about, I was like, why can't I fully commit to this? Why am I struggling to write this story? And I realized the reason why I was struggling was because it was meant for a feature, not a TV show. I was gonna drag it if I made it into a TV show. So yeah, but anyway, this absolutely, I forgot to speak about Superman. I promise you I'll speak about it soon. And I'm gonna build Metropolis closer to the day. So yeah. Anyway, this is a residential after a long time of doing a lot of businesses. I hope you guys really like this. I had a lot of fun building it, even though I was very hypercritical of myself as I went along with it. And I'm not gonna make any promises because that'll be a lie, but I'll try my best to be more consistent with my uploading this time as I manage it through job applications and scripts and filmmaking and all of that kind of fun stuff. And thank you so much for being so patient with me and continuing to support me as I've been taking a little bit of a break. And yeah, a lot of fun things to come. I hope you guys like that. And yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, but if you don't want to, that's also okay. I appreciate you staying this long and listening to all of my ramblers. Also, don't forget to leave a comment down below. I read all of your comments, the more the merrier. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.